Gervin.
Appreciate it, y'all. Thanks. I know it's everybody's holiday and everything, and I just want to thank you guys, ladies, for just taking the time. The club asked me to come out and, hopefully I can, help, answer any questions or maybe give some suggestions or offer any drills. Fellas! Hey, I told y'all if y'all gonna be in here, y'all gotta be quiet. I let them in there, my bad. But anyways, the whole goal is this: hopefully I can help. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. Name is George Gervin Jr., my government name. I born and raised in San Antonio, Texas. So I'm a San Antonio Spurs guy to heart. Had an opportunity to grow up in the Spurs organization as a youth. My dad played for the Spurs for 12 seasons. So got a chance to learn a lot of basketball growing up and got a chance to just to be involved with the game a lot. And so, I had a cool little background. I ended up, I wanted as a high school student, man, I didn't start off playing basketball. I played a little bit, but I had family members. And stuff that, that got involved. And so my thing is, I just wanted to kind of, grow up. I grew up, man, I wanted a normal life, but I didn't have a normal life. My dad was pretty famous growing up, and so it wasn't normal in any kind of way. But once I decided I wanted to play the game of basketball, which was around middle school or Grundschooling age, when I really wanted, growing up I did a lot of other things. But when I decided I wanted to play, I got that speech from my dad, and it was probably it's probably a different speech than a lot of kids get growing up, but coming from him being a professional athlete, he told me if I wanted to really decide to play this game and I wanted to play it, that I was going to have to commit. And so, he gave me some guidelines and things as a young kid that I had to, uphold if I wanted his help. Let's just say that. If I wanted his help and his involvement, there was just certain guidelines I had to do. And so it started off with, my middle school summer going into my high school. I had to shoot 500 shots a day all summer. So every day I had to shoot 500 shots a day. And I had to meet my dad at the gym. I had to get there on my own. And if any days I missed, he wouldn't come back no more. And we did that for 4 years. And I didn't miss a day. It got to a point where I craved it. And so what it did was it was very basic, very, very fundamentally things, no side steps, no crossovers, none of that stuff. It was very, very basic. And so taught me a lot about footwork growing up and just the advantages of having certain footwork. He was a scorer. And, he was one of the NBA's all-time leading scorers. And, so I got that from him, as far as scoring and those type of things. So, I lived up to the formula. I tried to do the formula as much as possible. I did everything I possibly could. My goal in high school was to get a scholarship. So I did everything I wanted to possibly can to do a scholarship. And then where I come from, you have to be a student athlete. So you had to do both. So, in middle school, I was diagnosed with ADHD, dyslexia, all the alphabets. They gave me all the alphabets. And so, school was tough for me. And so, but for me, I wanted to play basketball. And so, a lot of these guys don't really realize, man, I had summer school I had to do Saturday school. I had to do all the little extra stuff that most kids hate in order to play the game of basketball. So on top of me having to meet my dad at the gym 500 shots a day, on top of that on the weekends, I usually spend my weekends in class. And so, you know, at the time, I didn't understand it. At the time, I thought it was very hard and brutal. But, you know, I ended up getting a scholarship. Got a scholarship to go to Arizona State University. Got a chance to go to Arizona State, attended Arizona State for 2 years, learned a whole lot. I later transferred to the University of Houston, where I later played for Clyde Drexler, who's a Hall of Fame basketball player. So I got an opportunity to play for him, learn from him. And so spent 2 years with him, learned a lot in the city of Houston. Got a chance, you know, his college teammates was Akeem Olajuwon. His teammates the year before was Charles Barkley, Calvin Murphy, a lot of these legends that I knew growing up, man. So just being in that atmosphere as a college athlete, man, really inspired me to want to do more and be more. And so, you know, I eventually tried to become a pro, and I turned pro. I tell all these guys, throughout all the work that I put in and all the shots that I took, I still didn't make the NBA. And my dad, he started the game at 16. So he didn't even play basketball until he turned 16 and became one of the top 75 all-time greatest players. So, you know, it really, you know, I tell these young men, you know, everybody's process is different. You know, everybody's development is different. You know, everybody has their own clock, and we don't want to really kind of rush it. And so that's what kind of inspired me once I finished playing professional basketball, is to come back and help these young athletes, you know, boys and girls, just be able to kind of get through this process. Because I know this process is tough, because it was tough for me going through it. And so I just kind of dedicated my life, once I finished playing basketball, first and foremost, I didn't want to work. I didn't want a job. And so what I did was we started a company called Strength in Motion. And so Strength in Motion, I started in 2011. And so what we started doing was we started off doing camps. And we started off kind of just doing, you know, bringing kids in for summer. And then eventually it got to where we were getting the numbers, and I had friends that played over in Europe, and then we started involving the European kids. And so it got pretty big to where we started our own prep school. So right now, currently, that's what I do. I have my own prep school in San Antonio, Texas. We've probably got over 200 kids scholarships since 2011. And then I'm not even including, I had an opportunity to coach at Freeze Houston for a couple years. And then we probably helped about 25 of those kids get to college. And so, you know, here I am. The club asked me to be involved. I've been involved with a lot of these young men for some years now on the player development side. So for me, I've been more of a player development guy more so than a coach. What would I say? So, you know, the X's and O's, you know, I learn a lot. I bounce a lot of stuff off these other coaches and things like that, and these other scouts that I've learned, you know, just through the network of basketball. But my biggest thing has been always player development, you know, and developing these young athletes, trying to develop these players, understanding that everybody's process is going to be different and slower than others and faster in some cases. And so that's really been my dedication. And so, you know, along with these guys, man, we've just been a lot of these guys want to go to college, and they say they want to go to college. And so it's just now we're just taking them through the process of what it's going to take. And the game college has changed. So I'm sure you've heard that there's a lot of money in college now. And so, you know, my goal is for some of these young men to have an opportunity to extend their career, just to extend, I know living in Sweden, I've been living in Sweden for 10 and a half years now. And I just kind of found out, just over the process of dealing with these athletes that, pretty much they phase out, junior, senior year in high school. And so my goal is to get these young men and women to understand that, you might not make the NBA, you might not make EuroLeague, but if you're able to maximize this game can bring you a lot of things. Some of these young men, we've traveled to Europe these last 3 years. So we've participated in maybe 3 tournaments a year. We're going to France in December. We went to Spain last September. And so, I feel just those guys getting into those kind of atmospheres, seeing what the other countries are doing. We all know there's a lot of, there's more countries in Europe that take this game a lot more seriously than we do here. And so my goal is to, to try to give these guys as much as edge as anybody else has. Because, ability-wise, I think it's pretty much even. I just think it's up to us as coaches and leadership to be able to guide these young men and women to be able to kind of get and lead to their way. And so that's basically why I'm here and why I got here, and kind of in a nutshell. I don't want to talk you guys and girls to death because I understand the situation. It's a holiday. And so basically my first topic where we want to kind of talk about is something that we've been doing and putting emphasis on is speed and playing the game at a tempo. And so our biggest thing is trying to get these young men this season is to play with a pace and play with a tempo and play with a speed, but trying to be under control as much as possible. And so that's why we try to create much chaos as possible in practice situations. So that way they can get used and comfortable being in those chaotic situations during games. Because we already know, once that whistle blows and stuff, the adrenaline's running, and then, it's hard for them to think. And so I put a big value on practice. A lot of these guys, some of these guys are getting used to it. A lot of these guys know, but I put a huge value, premium on practice. I feel the game is the reward. I feel the game is the test. If we talk about it in academic terms. You study, you got to study in order to pass the test. And so for my biggest thing is getting these guys and emphasizing to these guys how much practice and how important practice is. And so, we've been at it for a couple months. But one of our things we like to start off with, kind of starting practice, I like to try to start the tempo off pretty quick. I try not to start off really slow. And so that way I feel you can always kind of turn them down. It's hard to turn them up. All right, and so if you can kind of get them turned up as much as possible, I think it's a lot easier to say, all right, yeah, we can pull back. But I think it's been, through my experience, it's been difficult to try to say, all right, man, we got to pick it up today. We got to pick it up. It just kind of really doesn't really work out that way. So one of the things we kind of do, starting off practice, we'll get together. We might do some 3-man weave, something basic, but we like to add little wrinkles on everything we do. So a lot of things that you probably you've probably seen before, but a lot of things we do, we add emphasis, we add little wrinkles and, and things to really kind of challenge them in the drill. And so I'll kind of start off, Rod is over here, Coach Rod is over here kind of getting them ready. I'll start off with kind of what we start off with kind of slow. So we'll start off in the half. And we really don't need everybody. So give me 3 guys. Just give me 3 guys. That's fine. All right. So we usually start this off in the in full court. Right now I'm gonna start it off in the half court, so it's kind of easier to see, and then we'll extend it to the full court. All right. So right now we'll just do our weave. So what we do is we go into a weave, 2 passes, everybody lay the ball up. All right, so we want to put emphasis when we do this is communication. All right, so we put a lot of emphasis on communication. You know, if you're laying the ball up, you're laying the ball up. If you got the rebound, you're screaming out, I got the rebound. If you're the outlet man, you're screaming out, outlet, outlet, outlet. And so we kind of start off with this because it's very, and I'm sure y'all can relate. It's very difficult to get these young men and women to talk and communicate when we're playing. And so my biggest thing is I feel you can fix a lot of issues. You can fix a lot of problems. You know, things are never going to go perfect on the basketball court, but I think you can fix a lot of issues with just communication. And so I put huge premium on it. And so, you know, these guys, they hear me enough where, you know, talking, communicating, you know, holding each other accountable is one of our most important things. Everything else, I think we can fix. I think it can be adjusted. But this communication part has to be at a premium. All right, so we'll go into our two pass layups, weave, everybody lay the ball up, touch the free throw line. All right, we touching the free throw line. We try not to have the ball touch the floor. So our goal is the ball doesn't touch the floor because now we're gonna pick up the pace. I don't know how warm y'all are, but y'all supposed to have been warm anyway, so. All right, so here we go. Let's do it. All right, good. So that's kind of how we start. So I make the guys count. So everybody's counting, everybody's engaged. All right, now the guys are starting to kind of get their blood going and things like that. And so after we kind of finish that drill, we usually set a number without misses. So what we usually do is we set a number without misses. So we'll say 30 in a row or things like that. So usually our number is like 30 in a row. And so, you know, a lot of times at first they kind of come in here and really not super duper engaged. And so I think once they've kind of go through it a couple times, they kind of realize, all right, it's time to go. And so the next thing we do is we go, give me 5 guys. All right, we go head man the ball drill. All right, and so we get everybody in the paint. We put everybody in the paint and we put emphasis on just guys getting out. Communication is another big thing when we're doing this. So we like to talk. We like the guy who's supposed to lay the ball up usually likes to get out in front. All right, so we want to try to have the guy who's going to lay the ball up get out in front. Everybody will lay the ball up in this drill. Everybody must touch the paint. All right, before we go back the other way, before the ball is laid up. So we want to touch the paint. And then we're getting back. We call this head man the ball drill. All right? So let's try it. Let's do it. We start on the rebound. Use that backboard. Use that backboard. Talk. Uh-oh. Freeze. Stop. So right there would be a penalty. All right, so the ball dropped. Everybody, they were talking, but they didn't communicate. And so that right there, ball drops, stop. It would be a penalty. So it would be maybe push-ups or maybe do a running drill on top of them doing it again. All right, so that would be a penalty in our situation. Oh, y'all want to do it again? Can we do it right? Yeah. All right, let's try. I'm gonna try one more time. Let's go. Talk. ain't that warm yet. Get ahead. Who's ahead? Who is it? Is that everybody? Great. All right. So this is a drill. This is kind of how we start practice usually, you know, or a drill similar to this. So now, you know, they're understanding the tempo. They're understanding you got to run from paint to paint. And so these are the little things you try to subconsciously try to instill in them. You know, it's kind of hard to say, hey man, run line and then run to that line. So what we try to do is we try to I try to give them more cardio things they have to think about, but in addition, we're using the ball, and you're not just turning into just a straight conditioning drill. Because, you know, let's be honest, man. A lot of kids they get really turned off by just running, flat out running without the ball and things, and they're trying to learn the game. And we only got an hour and a half usually of practice, so there's only so much time we really have. And so that's another thing. And so, all right, so that's kind of how we'll start off our practice. And then we'll start getting into more interactive stuff. So we'll start off with 5-on-0, 3-on-0, and then we'll start adding players. And so what we'll do is we'll go into our 3-on-2 drill. All right, so we'll go into our 3-on-2 fast break drill. Give me 2 guys on defense. Y'all can get over here, so that way we don't wear each other out. All right, and so this is a basic, you know, 3-on-2, coming back 2-on-1 drill. Sometimes we even add that 5th guy and do the 5-man weave. But right now, we just kind of put emphasis on our 3-on-2. And right now, the reason why we do this is we have rules when we're doing this. And so we want to push the ball up the sideline on the pass. We would prefer it. And then we would prefer to dribble the ball in the middle. All right, so, you know, we prefer our ball handlers getting in the middle of the floor so that way we can see both sides of the floor. And we call these the idiot boxes. So this is our term, is the idiot boxes, because those are mainly your trap areas. And so we tell the guys to stay out of the idiot box with the dribble. And so as much as possible. So we try to prevent. And, you know, they like the word the idiot box. So it kind of keeps them from dribbling in this area. So we prefer not to dribble in this area. We prefer to pass the ball up if possible. We feel the ball moves faster in the air than it does on the ground. And so we try to put emphasis when we're doing our transition, our fast break. We're getting better at it. I don't know if any of y'all seen our games, but we're starting getting better with our passing and passing in transition. So my biggest thing, especially with young athletes, is they're so caught up in dribbling the ball in a hurry. And so I try to put emphasis, you know, these guys kind of caught it late, but it's just we're trying to keep the dribbles to a minimum. And so I think it makes us much more of a faster team. It makes us more athletic as a team. And it also, usually when kids start dribbling, they put their head down. And so they miss a lot of the open spaces and the open things that's going on. I kind of attest to that. My daughter plays over at Sponga right now, man, and I went to one of her tournaments, and it was just hard to watch because, you know, it's tough, you know, because you have so many kids dribbling. And so, you know, a lot of drills we do with them, we limit the dribbles, or we take the dribbles away completely. And what it does is it changes, you know, it changes the movement of the game. And so that's a big thing we do. We do a lot of 3-on-3. We do a lot of things, but we do limited dribbles. I might give them 1 dribble, and that's just to escape, you know, get out of trouble. But other than that, we try to keep them down to a minimum. So right now, we're going to do our basic 3-on-2, 2-on-1 drill. All right, we'll say passer is back on defense for this drill. All right, so the passer will be back. Our emphasis is, let's start, just kind of slow motion. All right, we want to just keep it. All right, so we want to attack from so now we're attacking from the wing area. All right, so our goal is attack. So we want our guys to get out going fast. We want to throw the ball ahead like Sammy did. Our middle guy, the point guard, the middle, or whoever is in the middle. All right, our rule is once that pass is made, so the pass was made to Linus, we go no further than here. All right, so we put really emphasis. I'm attest to this. I was a point guard coming up, and you make this pass, and then you run down in here, it takes away our advantage. And so we feel once you make that pass, you're here for that outlet. Either it's that shot or for that swing pass, or it might even be right back. But we feel if it's on this side and he's attacking from that angle, I'm going to be right here at this elbow, ready to swing the ball or be able to make this little shot put, little in-between shot. All right, and so that's a big thing that we put emphasis on in our 3-and-2 drills is our spacing and where we are, because I got a couple guards, man, that that can score the ball, and I have to constantly remind them of being in that area where you can score, because a lot of these kids, they want to make the play, they want to make that play, but to get them to understand if we can make that ball, and the hockey pass is just as valuable. So right now, when we're doing our 3-on-2, 2-on drill, we just want to put emphasis on we're still talking, we're still communicating. All right, we're keeping the dribbles to a minimum. All right, so when we're coming back in the ball's trying not to hit the floor. All right, and so these are the emphasis that we're doing to start off. Let's do it. Let's try it. Pass her back, pass her back. Let's go, let's go, let's go, pass her back. Pass her back, stay wide. Not bad, let's go. Attack. Pass her back. All right, freeze, freeze, freeze. All right, another big emphasis we put on is staying wide. Staying wide. And so when the players tend to get really, really close on their spacing, then I might give them a marker. I might give them something where they kind of low to stay outside the area, because we want to spread the court as much as possible. We feel it's to our advantage if we spread the court, especially in transition in this type of situation. All right, try one more time. We widen on the way back. Let's go. Wide. Freeze, freeze. We didn't get wide. We missed the cones again. Cones out here for a reason. Stand out with the cones. Let's go. Let's watch. Let's notice the difference. Good. One more. Let's go. Woo. Back, Billy, you back, Billy? Billy? Ooh. How come you didn't get back? Huh? What do you mean? That was you. What does he mean that was him? Huh? All right, I just told you. All right, come on. All right, so this is kind of our 3-on-2, 2-on-3. It can get chaotic at times. And so, but the goal is we're really trying to put emphasis on their speed. And it's never really perfect, but what we're trying to teach these young men is to play with a pace, be able to think quickly, but still be under control. And so while we're practicing, it's never going to really work out. So this is like a process that we're going to be doing over the course of the year. But these young men, it's not this year. The goal is, and what's going to happen in the next 2-3 years. And so we're not really harping. We want to win, but, especially now at the youth 19 level and at the men's level, we have such a young group. It's more of a development. I really feel that these guys deserve, because these guys really love the game. In love with it, I'm still trying to find that out. But a lot of them love it, and they're trying to figure out what's the difference between being in love with it and loving the game. And I try to figure out how many of them have girlfriends. And so, I try to use that as a relation to it. Do you call her all the time? What attention do you take? What do you do outside of practice? And so I put a huge emphasis on these young men, what they do outside of it, because I only got an hour and a half with them during the day. And so, teaching them to do their due diligence outside the gym is where they're going to really get rewarded. And so it's been, a lot of these guys go to the same school. Some of them don't, but some of them have programs where they have NEO and things like that. And so us as a coaching staff, man, we try to get involved with those coaches and talk to those coaches and try to, develop a relationship with those coaches and try to see how we can help these young men in their process. Because, we know, a lot of coaches have a lot of different philosophies. And so, if we can kind of, meet in the middle or try to find the best way to help these young men, that's what we're doing. And so that's one of the big things that us and the coaching staff have been doing, is just, reaching out to those coaches and just extending and letting them know that they're playing for us during the year. And, is there anything that we can, trade ideas or anything for their benefit? And so that's one of the big things that we've been putting emphasis on this year. And it's been going well. But, we know it's going to be a process. It's going to be a process. All right, so usually afterwards, when we finish our warm-ups and layup lines and stuff, we usually do some kind of shooting. So we usually we don't really start off with a whole lot of team stuff at the beginning. We try to do more individual stuff depending on the group. Lately, this season, we've been having a huge group. I think we've been having 20, 23, 25 guys sometimes. And so, that's been a challenge. But, I mean, at the same time, we've been really tackling it and getting it done. And so there's a lot of things that we do, or different things that we do, that you can't do in a small setting, that we have to do when there's a lot of people and when it's a little more chaotic. And so we got a couple of shooting drills that we do when there's a lot of people, and then there's some stuff that we do when there's not as many people. And so I know, as coaches and stuff, I've seen some practices and stuff. Some days you might have them heavy days, and some days you might have those light days. But the goal is for them to be able to get the work done in that time limit. And so we'll do our shooting drill. So one of the shooting drills we do is give me like 8 guys. All right, give me 8 guys. Give me 4 out here on the perimeter. Match it up, right? Yeah. We'll stay in the mid-range. Nope. Offense. We're going to shoot. All right, so give me 4 guys underneath. All right, so we usually match the balls by the spots. All right, so this is a shooting drill we usually do. It's kind of chaotic, but what our goal is to really just kind of get them shooting in the spots. I like to evaluate their shooting. I'm really stickler on those details. On, are you dropping your butt when you're shooting? Are you stepping into your shot? Are you taking that selfie when you're shooting? So a lot of these drills that we do, I'm evaluating in the middle of them. So they think they're doing, you know, drills and stuff, but, you know, I'm evaluating because, you know, our goal as staff is we're trying to improve these young men week by week, day by day. And so, you know, that's why we practice pretty much daily. So this shooting drill, y'all can all get in line. Y'all can all get in line. It's cool. All right, we usually pick 4 spots, maybe sometimes 5. You know, sometimes it can be more. But it gets kind of chaotic, so we're going to pass and you're going to follow. All right, so you're going to pass, you're going to follow, and then you're going to, we're going to slight closeout. All right, well, just a slight closeout. We're going to close out, let the shooter shoot over a closed out hand, and then we'll hold the spot. All right, so we'll say, let's go 20 makes right now. Let's go. You count them out. Let's go, let's go. Get deliver the ball, let's go. Get to a spot, let's go. As you can tell, my guys don't shoot. Ball, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Watch your passes, let's go. Come on, don't stand there, Kev. Let's go. Get out the way, let's go. That's one? All right, stop at 10 because y'all can't shoot. All right, 10, 10, 10, 10. Good, 10, good. All right. So this drill, I mean, the more people you put out there, it can get chaotic, but I mean, we feel like the games are chaotic. And so if they learn how to be able to, you know, calm themselves and shoot in those kind of situations, you know, we feel that it kind of transfers over into you know, hopefully a chaotic game situation, you know, in a situation. So another one we'll do is, you know, we'll shoot and then we'll go into, we got different kind of evolving. So we'll shoot, pump fake, so pass to him. So now we'll let the guy pass fake, you know, and one dribble into a shot. All right, so we've got different methods how we do it. So we might move it back to the 3-point line. We might go into a 2 dribble. You know, we might have them come out and set the screen. You know, where they're kind of coming off of like a mini little pick and roll situation. So there's different variations that we use this. Another game that we shoot, that we do, which is, I think it's more fun for the guys than anything, but it really gets them going. Give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 guys here. Y'all go down the other end. 1, 2. Yep. 4, 5. You go down. You stay down here. Put the ball. Put them anywhere. Let's go. We're gonna go into we're gonna do our battleship.
Oh yeah.
No. 2, only two. Everything 2. Everything 2 and 1. 2 threes. How many guys we got? All right, let's go. Give me some guys down here.
Hey, come here.
All right, let's go. Give me, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, cool. All right, so this is a drill we like doing. I mean, they like it. They think it's fun. But one thing they do, they do get to really work. It gets competitive. And so, hey, remember when we're doing the threes, let's not get crazy with it. Remember, all right. Let's understand the drill and what we're trying to do. All right, so we call this battleship. It's like the game, battleship. And so, how many balls we got? We got some balls. Get some balls. No. You need more than 2 balls. Get another ball. Y'all at least get 3.
Hey, let's go.
At least get 3. Y'all got 3?
Yeah.
Y'all got 3? Yeah. All right, take one out. Take one out. All right, take one of these out. Yep. All right, so. All right, everybody gonna get to a spot. Get to a spot. Get to a spot. If you don't have a ball, yeah. If you don't have a ball, just wait. If you don't have a ball, just wait. All right? Yeah, wait behind him. Or you can rebound. Or you can rebound. All right, so we call this battleship. So our goal is to end up with no cones on the side of your side of the court. All right, and so they're going to shoot, follow their shot, or we got a rebounder right now and kind of help out with the rebounds. We deliver it to the next guy as quick as possible. All right, our goal is if you score, you get to take that cone to the other side of the court and put it where you want to, within reason, in 2-point land, please. And there's 2 threes. Now we'll say 1 3. All right, and so y'all got a 3?
Is it 2 mid-range and 1 3? Yeah, 2 mid-range, 1 3.
Y'all got a 3?
Yeah, we got it.
All right, cool. All right, ready? Go. Go, Kev, go, Kev, go, Kev. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Hey, 3. Hey, last one. Yeah, go.
Go, let's go. We gotta be at the next spot. We gotta be in the next spot. There's another spot. Let's go. Communicate. Let's go. Come on, let's go. Last one. Let's go. Y'all need one. Go. You gotta put it down there. It ain't ready yet. Let's go. All right, game. All right, so I mean they like it, but I like it because it gets them really going, and they start communicating, and then as you see, the noise goes up, and what coach doesn't want to hear that kind of sound when play's going on. And so, you know, that's a kind of a thing that we like to start off with. It really kind of gets them up and going and things before we start getting into a lot of the instructional type things. At the level we're at, it's a lot more instruction as far as attention to details. But, you know, at the youth, you know, at the younger stage, or when I had those guys last year or the year before, it was more of, we did a lot of this. Practice consists of a lot of this, less of the plays. You know, our biggest thing about plays is, especially starting off with these young men, is to get them to learn how to play without the ball. I think that is just it's a lost art now, and it's greatly undervalued as far as just learning how to play without the ball. And so what we do is we do a lot of drills where, like I was saying before, we put them in situations where they don't dribble as much. And so what it does is it forces them to have to move their feet a lot, and forces them to have to go set a screen and to go play off the ball. I feel these guys, I just allowed them to run pick and roll this year. Previously, I didn't let them run pick and roll because I just know it's so difficult for a guard to read it And so, and I know it takes time. So we worked over the summer. That's something. And then once I felt comfortable with us running the pick and roll, then we've kind of implemented it this year. And a little bit towards the end of last year when we were playing SM. But the goal is right now is to get these guys to play without the ball. Play off down screens, play off cuts. I think it's very easy for players to just to play on the ball and play on dribbling. And then I feel it doesn't involve everybody if you allow so many dribbles. And it's not the kid's fault. A lot of times, man, once that ball hits the floor, man, everybody's eyes hit the floor. And that's just kind of what I've noticed over the years working with the young kids. And so another drill that we like doing, and I guess we can use everybody. Let's go. Y'all got colors? Have colors? All right, go green and white. Just even it up. It don't matter. We ain't about to go hard live anyway. All right, so another thing that we like to do is we try to involve a lot of games. And so a big one that we play, especially when there's a lot of athletes in the gym and a lot practicing, we play a game called, we call it a transition game, but we also call it tag out. So green on offense, white on defense. All right, so we usually start off in small numbers when we're doing this. So we'll start off 3, maybe 4 players. Nothing less than that. And so we're going to simply do transition game tag out, and we'll say after half court, you only get 1 dribble. All right, so we play a rule. If the ball handler pushes the ball and he has nobody to deliver to, and once he crosses half court, he has a live dribble. But once that pass is made, everybody else has 1 dribble. You can catch it, you can let go and get it back. You get a reset dribble, but you only have 1. And so what we're doing is trying to emphasize these young men, get the ball up quickly. All right, and then once we do have the ball, now bodies are moving. We're either getting one of our teammates open, or we're cutting to the basket, or we're setting ourselves up to score. And so that's kind of what we do in this drill. So we'll start off maybe less numbers with 3. We'll start adding 4. Then we'll get all the way up to 5. And then we'll start even actually adding our plays into this. And so we'll do 5 on 5. And so what I'm doing is trying to get them to think very, very quickly and try to come up with a play. So we usually designate the play. So right now we're just going to play. And the whole goal is you can start off, throw it off the glass. All right, so he can push. We're going downhill. And so now they only have 1 dribble afterwards. Stay. Go. Praise. All right. So in this drill, if you score or if you turn the ball over, you have to tag out. All right. So if you score, make or miss to shot or attempt, and the possession changes, you have to tag. You have to physically tag your teammate in the game. And what we do is, 1, it gives us a semi-break on one end, and then 2, it gives us an opportunity to push the ball up and get these guys to read the mismatch or the numbers that we have in transition. Usually it'll be one guy trailing, and so it's usually one guy open most of the time. And so we do this drill to see if we can find them pretty quick, or find that open man, or score as quick as possible. And so we do this game. So give me one more. Add one more guy in there. All right, so now we add 4. All right, so the rule on this is you do not have to take the ball out. All right, so once the ball is shot, miss, make, we clearing it right away. So all we're doing is forcing these guys to go from offense to defense. My biggest issue, especially this year, has been getting these guys to go from offense to defense like that. For some reason, it's kind of and so I have that real issue. So we do this a lot to just really get them to snap out of it, go from one side to the other side. And there's nothing in between except when you hear the whistle. So this kind of helps us. I find this kind of helped us over the time of being able to go from we're not perfect yet, and we got a lot of work to do, but I feel like this really helps us. All right, so now we're going 4s. So now it's their job to communicate. All right, tag out, let's go. We got numbers. Tag, let's go, we out. Yeah, that idiot box. Remember, you got it, the idiot box. We don't want to dribble the idiot box. Bucket, let's go, we out. Tag out, we out. Go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, and we out. Let's go. We got numbers. Next point wins. We out. Next point wins. Eight, 7, 6, 5, 4. I need a bucket. All right, game. We use different things attached to this in order to, one, we keep the tempo going, and 2, it's usually great when you have a lot of kids. So when you have a lot of kids, this drill works, because what the kids don't realize, if you hide in this, you're gonna be running. So if you hide in this drill and you're not being involved and stuff, you're just gonna be running sprints, and you're gonna be super tired, and it catches up to you. And so what it does is, it teaches the ones that are like to hide. You know, every team has a kid that likes to try to hide and stuff. He can't hide, and it exposes that. And so it makes everybody get super duper involved in this, and they like it. And you know, and at the end of the day, it's still a game, and they're going to be competitive with it. And then it's just up to us as leadership and as coaches to, you know, kind of modify it to our needs and the things that we want and things that we need at that time. I know we're all at different stages with our athletes right now, and so you know, my goal is to see if, you know, whatever we can do. You know, if I have some things, or, you know, anybody on the staff, man, we can kind of give y'all some tidbits and some drills and things like that to kind of help. We can throw the 5th guy out here. So we'll add the 5th guy. And so usually when we have 5 guys out here, we'll call a play. So like one of our sets. So we'll usually do this in one of our sets. So that way we can kind of do, and like my issue has been going through one of our sets, offense to defense has been our biggest issue. And it's been our issue this year. It hurt us yesterday. And so, you know, our biggest thing in this drill is guys going, you know, it goes back to where we started, paint to paint. You know, and so that's the reason why we started off head man the ball. That's the reason why we started off with those drills, is to kind of hope subconsciously get them to know running from paint to paint. My goal for these guys, you know, these guys like to dunk in warm-ups. You know, I tell them it's like kissing their sister. It don't count. And so, you know, I try to get them to put emphasis on, you know, we're at the stage now where it's time to, you know, they're at the stage where it's time to start tip dunking and start following, you know, and following up plays and following up each other's plays and stuff. And so that's the reason why the paint to paint is really, really important to me, because it gets these guys, because they have the ability. It's just, you know, you got to kind of mentally get them going. Yeah, it's a psychological type thing. All right, so we'll go motion. All right, so motion is one of our sets that we run. And if any of y'all got any questions about it, you can ask me or the staff. Man, it's super cool to say that. Yeah, so this is a set we run a lot. You know, I know, you know, our biggest thing is we don't have any bigs. I tell them we're all guards, because, you know, we're in a positionless basketball era. And so to try to get these young men to understand you're defined, we say you're defined by who you guard and you defend. And so that's how we say, I try not to tell them, man, you're a 1, you're a 5. So I try to keep from telling them that. And I said, your position is defined by who you're defending. You might just have to guard the biggest guy. It doesn't mean you're a big guy. And so that's kind of how I relate it to the guys, man. So, and then once you kind of tell them that, they, oh, okay, all right. We're related to who you defend. And so right now we play this set because it's more positionless. And what we try to do is we try to incorporate a lot of back screens or back cuts, back doors, and then us and the ball going from one side to the other. And so we call this motion. We, you know, I was telling you, I have a couple partners here in Stockholm. So Freeze Huset runs this. We all run this. We're like I don't know, we're like a network. We all like communicating and stuff. So, you know, there's a few clubs that are starting to run this now. But I honestly think it's really cool for the guys, because the ball, it's a passing drill. It's more of a passing game. And so we have two guard front. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter. We ran it for, in last game, we ran it for Ivan. So it doesn't really matter. You know, Ivan was rolling for us yesterday. So we tried to put him in a situation in this offense where, you know, where we saw it can be fit. This can be interchangeable. All right. And so we call this motion. We try to keep everybody a free throw line and above. All right. So we try to keep free throw line and below open for our back doors in a situation. All right. So we usually have two guard front, so we'll have a guard to guard. We got wings, and then we'll have a guy right in the high post area. All right, and so we'll just kind of basically go through our basic motion right now. All right, we'll do motion, and then we'll go into the tag out game. All right, so motion. We pass to the perimeter, we cut. Well, hold up. We cut a lot faster and better than that. You warm, right? You on film, right? I'm mic'd, right? All right, twice. All right, let's go. All right, freeze. All right, now we ran it. All right, So it's a, you know, if y'all got any questions about it, I'm not gonna really go into it deeply right now, but this is our passing game. We like, especially when we get in a situation where things are chaotic and we haven't got a shot in a while, we prefer to kind of go to our passing game. If they pass it on the perimeter, let's go, run it real quick. If you pass it on the perimeter and this guy is not overplayed, right there, boom, we swing it. All right, swing. We want to swing right away, but freeze. Before this back screen is even set, if this guy has an isolation set, he's supposed to go. All right, so it's isolated. There's no help on the backside except if Omar wants to help. And if Omar leaves his man, Billy's already going to be there. All right, so these are situations. We got a passing game, but we try to put emphasis on these guys. You know, do what you do best. You know, if you feeling like you can beat your man in this type of situation, this is why we're keeping the court spread. This is why we're keeping everybody above the free throw line extended so that we have these kind of opportunities. And so this is our motion. We'll go into a transition game. So what we're going to do is we're going to play motion, but we're going to play out of our tag out game. And so it just gives us an opportunity for fast break opportunities along with us running our offense. And we having to go back from offense to defense in a hurry. So we kind of knock out all those type of things when we're doing this. And it's a big staple in what we do. All right? So you can, you know, if y'all have any offenses that y'all run and things, so you can always add the offense into this once you kind of get into the 5-man set. One, it's going to get everybody involved, especially if you have a lot of kids involved. And then two, it's going to really give them really a lot of cardio and give them almost like a game-like type situation. All right, let's run. Let's run through it real quick. We out. Go. We out. Eight, 7, 6. Turn it over. We got numbers. Stay. Let's go. We go first to 2. First to score 2. All right, so remember, when we're running our motions, all right, I'm already seeing it. Y'all cutting like robots. Remember, you cut over top, you cut down below. All right, but you cut like you want, it's a scoring cut. Y'all kind of, Billy, you started it. Y'all just kind of jogging around this thing. All right, let's go. Seven, 6, 5, 4. Look out, we go. Good, that's 1. We're going to 2. Push. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1-1. Game point both ways. Oh shit! What are we looking at? 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Oh, good hustle. Oh yeah, he threw it to the wrong person and he's screaming out profanities. Let's go, push. Good. Wow.
guys passing, not dribbling in a 2-on-1 situation is getting a lot of. That might be worse.
Yep. Fellas, all right, real quick. All right, we talk about it a lot. You know, we were talking about it before. You know, the ball, we try to put the emphasis on, yes, one, them getting up and down the floor really fast. Two, the ball is hitting the ground as at least as possible. And so that way we're getting that ball up and we're getting up the floor. It really forces us. And I put a huge premium with these guys, especially when we're in 2-on-1 situations, that the ball doesn't hit the floor. And so these guys know that there's usually a penalty attached to it, but I'm a real stickler into it because the difference is light years. From a kid wanting to take one, even if it's one dribble, it could hurt and slow down your transition. And so I put a huge emphasis on these guys. If we're in our 2-on-1 situation, that ball don't hit the floor. We're passing that thing back and forth. And so, you know, we're still getting there. It's been a task, but because, you know, just at this age, a lot of habits have been, you know, kind of instilled and kind of stuck in their ways. And so we're undoing those. So a lot of y'all have younger. And so I think it's really good to put that emphasis on them now, is having them understand that the ball moves faster in the air than it does on the ground. And they're probably their favorite player that they love watching playing, you know, it understands that. You know, I know a lot of these kids like Steph Curry. You know, I had a couple guys that, you know, Steph Curry fans, and I try to put emphasis on Steph Curry only gets the threes that he gets because he sets screens. He will not be able to run off all the screens. He makes the defense have to make a decision. Either you're going to take Draymond's layup or you're going to have to guard me on the perimeter. And so he creates those situations for him. So, you know, I try to relate that and tell these young men, man, Steph Curry, yes, he's an amazing shooter and things, but the work that he does to get the shot off is the real task. That's the real beautiful part of it, is the miles that he runs per game to get those shots off. And that's what these guys don't understand. They just see the highlights. They just see the reels. They just see those little clips, but they don't see the, you know, when they clock how many miles he ran that game, he ran 2-3 miles. But this is on a sprint basis. And so try to get these guys to understand and play at that pace. So that's a big thing that we do here, and reason why I try to get them to understand their favorite player, you know, does the little things in order to, you know, to get the achievements that they have. And it just doesn't come. And so, was that game point? All right, game point. I'll let y'all play with our game point. Last one. Let's go. Oh. Game! All right, y'all get off. All right, so that's a game that a lot of times, you know, we even finish practice, you know, especially if it's on a good note. If we finish and it's on a high note, we'll usually finish the practice off with something like this. If we haven't got into details about the game and or our opponent, whoever we're playing. And so basically that's kind of, you know, in a nutshell, kind of some of the similar things that we do. Of course, there's a lot more. I would prefer not to sit up here and talk y'all's ear off. I would rather answer some questions if that's the case. If y'all got some inquiries or, you know, some questions that I might can answer to the best of my knowledge, I'd rather do that from going on. And so, you know, that's kind of, but that's overall, this is kind of how we've, as a staff, have been getting these guys prepared for this year. It's been a task, man. My biggest thing, especially after yesterday, man, coming off this loss yesterday. It's a tough night, couldn't sleep. But just, my thing is to get these guys to understand that it's competition. And now everybody, some of the group they won SM last year. And I try to let them know, man, that's cool and all, but, I'm sure some of y'all have won SM too. And so, so I try to get them to know, all right, that's cool. We've reached a step, but now they don't realize they're a target this year. And so that's what I'm trying to get them to realize is everybody gunning for you this year. You got to recognize that, and you got to embrace it, but you got to prepare for it too. And so that's the thing that we're dealing with right now is, you tell a lot of them, man, used to, they probably haven't won a whole lot, and then the consequences of winning and stuff. And so it's just kind of how you choose to embrace it. I embraced it this year, man, excited and stuff. They don't realize and stuff the way people look at them across the court when we're getting ready to warm up. They don't pay attention to that. But try to remind them, man, everybody's gunning for them and stuff. And so just to kind of keep that competitive edge, we try to keep as competitive, as possible. Hopefully over the years, when we're doing this and we're keeping it like this, we'll start attracting, those ones that, that want to, do things like this, man. Because, I know starting off the year, we might have had 30 guys. And then we started doing this. Then it went down to about 27 guys. And then it went down to about 25 guys. And then it got down to about 22 guys. And so, because, you find out there's players that don't really want to take this, this sacrifice or this dedication. And I feel as youth, what better to do, man, is to submerge yourself in a craft and something where it's going to build life skills later. And so my thing with them is, with our relationship over the years and stuff, they got a chance to meet, some NBA players. They got a chance to, meet some Hall of Famers. They've got a chance to go watch games throughout Europe. We have a Jordan rep. I know we're Kraft, but we got a Jordan rep that really helps us out. And so, it kind of gives these guys incentive. He might text them and say, hey, you get 10 rebounds, I'll send you some Jordans. But, those are the type of things that they get these guys going, gets them motivated and stuff. And so, I just try to let them know, man, just you being involved in this game, you never know where this game can take you. All right, I'm in Sweden now. And, a kid from San Antonio, Texas, I would have never thought I would be living the rest of my life or rest of my grown-up days in Sweden. And so got a chance to go all over the world, and the game took me there. And so some of these guys have been some places, and the game has took them there so far. And so I just try to get these young kids to understand the longevity and what can transpire from the game of basketball. A lot of people just kind of look at it as kind of make the NBA and things like that, and then they don't realize the relationships that you cultivate in between there. I tell these guys all the time, man, a couple of these guys are going to be owners of businesses and things like that. And these are where your connections start. This is where your network begins and stuff with your own teammates and stuff. I call upon some of my old teammates now. Miko Ripperton, who's now the national team coach. He was my little guy on when we were playing in Norrköping, and just to see how he's blossomed now, man, national team coach, and won championships 4 times in a row, and just his accomplishments, man, and just he was one of the ones that was with me from the beginning, man. He was always kind of looked up to and admired me as a player, and we still have that relationship and things like that. And so I think those are big, because, some of these guys are going to want to play on the national team one day, and then now I have somebody that can call me and be like, hey, how's Omar looking? what is he doing? I can say, hey, Omar messing around. And you know what I'm saying? And I can be really honest with them. Or I can be like, man, he ready. You know, and so I just think, you know, with having that kind of network and that kind of relationship, it goes a long way. And so I try to tell these guys, just like, you know, I have my network of people and relationship, it's beginning now. And they're just using this basketball game as a tool to, you know, to navigate life skills, how to be on time, how to, you know, communication, you know, work together, you know, how to be, you know, somebody. I always tell the guys, man, are you somebody that you would play with? So I always ask the guy, man, look in the mirror, man, are you somebody that you would love playing with? That's a conversation I have with Odie a lot and stuff. And so, it's those type of things that, you know, I try to instill in these young men and stuff. And, you know, and for me, I don't have a regular job. And so it's time. So I think the biggest thing that how you can help one of these young men get to the next level is time. You know, and it's not like I'm hanging out at their house, but I might send a text message, or they might send a text message to me, and we might be interacting throughout the day. They might even get a message, say, man, ain't you in class? But that is our interaction. So I always remind these guys, man, I say, hey, you got a 24-hour concierge service, basketball concierge service at your disposal at the moment. You know, it's not going to last long, and a lot of people pay premium price and top dollar for that. And, you know, and so these guys already know if it's information about college, if it's information about high school, if it's information about anything related to the basketball, they have somebody they can call upon. They got a staff they can call upon. They got me. They have, you know, a lot of these guys have already been to Texas. I take a lot of them to Texas in the summer. And so they spent time at my family's house, and then we have a gym. We have a facility. We have three courts. We have an indoor track. And so they've been there and taken them to visit college coaches and talk to college coaches, so that way they can kind of get, you know, to hear it from themselves. You know, it's one thing us telling them something, but then when they hear it from those type of guys, or when we take them to Europe and they go listen to the Manresa coach from over in Spain, and they listen to those guys talk, or the Real Madrid coaches, or when they go and we play in these tournaments against like Real Madrid and Barcelona, and they take their phones when they eat. They take their phones when they watch the games and stuff. And just, you know, I don't take their phones, but I just, you know, we watch and we evaluate. And I tell them, I say, see, now this is the next level, fellas. And so, you know, giving them the opportunity to see it for themselves, I think is huge. You know, on top of, you know, we can tell them things. We tell them this, Steph Curry did this, Kyrie Irving did this. But for them to be immersed in those kind of atmospheres and be in those gyms, you know, we went to the college gym, and first thing Odie wanted to do was go and grab the rim in the arena. You know, this arena, man, it's 20,000 seats, man. So, you know, these guys aren't really custom. So, you know, there's volleyball going on and stuff, and we're just taking a tour, and then you hear bam, bam, and it's Odie over there hanging on the rim. He wanted to feel how it felt to hang on the rim in college atmosphere, and I get it. So I ain't get mad at him, but, you know, that's was the point of it, is trying to really get them and kind of get those juices flowing, because we only got so much time with them. And then we got to trust them that they're going to do their stuff on their own. And so that's where those little conversations come in. That's where the little motivation come in, or maybe a video, or, you know, text message, or something I came across. But this is what we do on a daily basis, weekends, after the games. You should have seen all the messages after the game yesterday. But that's just kind of how we do, man. I feel it's my calling. You know, I'm probably like y'all in the same boat, man. We're all probably volunteers, right? Yeah, so just like y'all, all right, same thing. You know, I dedicate my time, a lot of my free time, to their process. And so, and I take it with honor, and I take joy in it. And so, you know, that's kind of my story and kind of a brief of what we do, kind of our daily. But you know, if y'all got any questions, I'll feel free to ask and I'll answer. If y'all don't, we can go home. What'd you say, Mohammed? Oh. No, I'm just playing. No, I'm just playing. No, thank you. Yeah. Nah, but I appreciate y'all taking the time. You know, I know it's a holiday, and you know, the club asked me to come speak. You know, Yuki wanted me to come up here and speak, man, and so I told him gladly, man. I kind of share a little bit of my story. You know, the whole goal wasn't really to talk y'all to death. I wanted to kind of give y'all some brief pointers, and you know, I'm always here. Y'all ever need anything, this is what I'm here for. You know, me and Mike communicate a lot. You know, and so you know, if this is kind of what I'm here for. I actually enjoy the interaction with the coaches a lot. You know, because I just like, you know, everybody has something to offer, I feel. And so, you know, I like to pick y'all's brains and things also like that too. So I'm not one of those know-it-alls. You know, I'm still learning. I'm one of those, you know, when I get home tonight, I'll be cutting on a couple EuroLeague games and waiting for the NBA to come on and maybe watch a couple preseason college games. And that's kind of my daily basis is. And then I'll send them the videos or something I'm watching and ask them, are they watching? Or I'm asking them, are they doing anything? Are they doing their push-ups? And so that's kind of how my daily goes, man, is just keeping them focused and understanding that there's not a lot of coaches and a lot of teachers out here that are really have the time to really put into it. And so I'm one of those ones, fortunately. And so I try to put in this time for their process because I know they're not going to get this time back. And so I understand that, you know, it's limited time for these guys to try to maximize this game as much as possible. And so that's kind of my motivation. That's my dedication to it and stuff. And so that's kind of me in a nutshell. And, you know, just like I said, if any of y'all have any questions down the line, you know, email me in English, please. Yeah, you know, feel free, you know, get my number from Yuki and or the staff, but if y'all need anything, you know, any questions about anything, please reach out. If I can answer them, I'll do my best, or I can point you in the direction where it can best be answered. Cool.
Okay.
Good.
Thank you, G.
I appreciate it. Thank y'all.
And also to the guys, great job guys. Okej, vi är klara för idag. Onsdag kommer David Lehmann hit och kör.